My name is Kingsley Jacob, also known as Miss Cariad.
Carrie Hyatt.
Howard and Julie.
Mark.
Barbara.
Patricia.
My name is Philip.
My name's Llyr Griffith and I'm a member of the Senedd representing the North Wales region for Plaid Cymru.
Ges di dy eni yng Nghymru?
I was.
Yes, I was. I was born in Newport.
I wasn't born in Wales, but I've lived here since I was 2.
No, I wasn't.
No.
Yes.
I was born in Chepstow.
I was born in Aberystwyth, lived in Carmarthen most of my early years, but now living in North Wales for nearly the last 20 years.
Romania.
Stoke-on-Trent.
Am faint wyt ti wedi byw yng Nghymru?
Nearly 6 years now.
40 years.
About 24 plus years.
Sut faint wyt ti wedi byw yng Nghymru? O byw yng Nghymru?
The thing that immediately springs to mind is when I go on holiday and people think I'm automatically English.
Absolutely fabulous. I've never had no trouble.
I love Wales. Everyone's very patriotic here. Everyone's really kind to each other. Everyone supports each other. Love going to the football. Love going to the rugby. So yeah, I love living in Wales.
Absolutely lovely.
Nice, yes, nice. Well, where we were lucky where we grew up, there were nice communities.
I love it.
I've enjoyed it.
Well, I love it because there's so much to do, and both of us worked down here when it was just known as the docks in the late 60s.
In contrast, where I grew up in Bristol, St. Paul's, Easton, there was a higher Caribbean Windrush community there, more accessibility to the variety of foods and materials and stuff that make us have a sense of belonging, a sense of home away from home.
Well, having not lived much anywhere else, then clearly it's pretty limited, but I've enjoyed it. Obviously I feel very much part of Wales and certainly a big stakeholder in Wales, so I have a vested interest in its future.
Very friendly, because it's a mixed communities. You've got people from all over the world come here.
Yeah.
And I'm saying Italians, most of the people from the Yemen.
I haven't really gone anywhere. It's home to me.
The weather's better. I think job prospects are better. And it's just a nicer environment, I think.
It's a challenge, as I said. It's when you grow up in a majorative minority and then come to a place where you're visibly minority, like within the mass of. It's something. It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Would recommend it. I think Cardiff in particular is up and coming.
Beth ydy fod yn Cymreig yn golygu I ti?
I think it's brilliant. Yeah, I love the country. I love how patriotic people are.
It's things like emblems, like you say, like the rugby. But also as well, like I say, if I have to explain myself when I'm going abroad that I'm actually from a separate country, I think it's something that you actually feel as well,
I think it means to be very country proud, of course.
I think it means pride.
Very proud. Very proud.
That's a difficult one, that
very
is.
Proud.
Yeah, it's, yes. Yeah,
I think we got a very good identity.
Maybe being really proud of your roots and being proud of, the Welsh language and the Welsh culture.
Supporting Welsh rugby, it's living in Wales, it's being born in Wales.
Well, just very proud of everything that they seem to... Things hit them, and like the bay itself, instead of just falling apart, things rise up out of it. And over the years, to see this now, I think it's just very proud to see that things just don't disappear completely.
That's a difficult question, isn't it? That is because I think it's different for everyone. I think being Welsh is what you make it and what you want it to be. For me, it's about belonging. It's about where my family roots are. It's what I sort of identify with. It's my reference point for what I am and what I want to be. And I think being Welsh can be whatever you want it to be.
So being Welsh is part of my identity.
Very proud of each little thing, each little quirk that we've got going on, from the accents all the way down to our lush food.
Proud to wear my red top, and support, when Gareth Bale scores, obviously, I'm the first one up.
Wyt ti'n meddwl fod bod yn Cymreig yn rhywbeth symbolic?
100%.
Oh, yeah, when the rugby's on, definitely.
Football and rugby,
Yeah.
any sport in Wales is
Yes,
We,
I think it is.
we take it with a passion.
It's a bit more than just, wearing a daffodil hat.
Oh,
Yes. Cardiff comes to life. I mean, look at the stereophonics.
and Tom
And Tom
Jones.
Jones, of course.
I think people do identify with symbols, but of course we need those symbols sometimes to, as a conduit to sort of express what we are. It can be a bit cliched sometimes, the sheep and the Welsh cakes and all that kind of thing. We've all had it, haven't we? But if that's what works for you, that's fine. But being Welsh isn't just about that. Being Welsh, and I remember somebody saying, it's easy enough to love Wales and feel Welsh when you're stood on the top of Snowdon Mountain, but you got to feel Welsh and love Wales when it's pouring with rain when you're stood in the bus stop. Being Welsh is about everything and not about just a few.
I wouldn't say it's symbolic. I'd say it like I said, it forms part of your identity.
Beth gallai'r Llywodraeth Cymraeg wneud I magu synwyr Cynefin ym mhob person?
Even more marketing worldwide than they do already. We've obviously got the tourism and the tourist board, but maybe that sometimes needs a little bit more of a push, possibly.
Maybe have educational programs in place to help them learn the language, because of course, speak the language, learn the language.
More information about where to visit in Wales would be, the government could help with that. Transport, obviously, I know all the cities up and coming now. So yeah, more information to them.
So there's a disparity of opportunities, which obviously affect the flourishing of the various varieties.
Like easy access to the culture and stuff. Like if you live here, I know that the castle's free and things like that. So obviously you can get a bit more immersed in the culture and learn a bit more about it. All Welsh lessons are free. So I find that that's very helpful as well, because you get a chance even if you're coming from abroad, and there's festivals and there's all sorts of different things that they put on with easy access to. So yeah, if they continue doing those things, then it's...
So I don't think people should be afraid to come and live in Wales, because it's such a lovely place to live. And if you've got the weather like today, you don't need to go abroad.
No. Access to different opportunities for people. Government that encourages embracing all things Welsh.
You've got an opportunity to learn a language here, whether you come from anywhere.
I think it's about, reaching out and embracing everyone. Anyone who wants to identify as Welsh, join the club. You're more than welcome. The more of us, the better. And I don't think we should be putting barriers up, and trying to force people to define themselves as being one thing and not another thing. You can be Welsh and international, you can be Welsh and English, you can be whatever you want to be. But the key thing is, if you want to be Welsh, then you have to be allowed to be Welsh. Who is it to say that you can't be?
I think if they want to embrace the fact that they have a lot of different people that choose to make Wales their home, then you also have to acknowledge those people, as in their contribution to the society and all that, so for sure.
Os roedd rhaid I ti disgrifio Cymru?
Pawb.
Beautiful.
Fendigedig.
Fantastic. I'd say fantastic. Yeah. I'm very proud to be Welsh.
Community.
Fantastic.
Potential.